Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of SevTech. How are you guys doing today? How's life? We are going to start today's episode by rearranging our ore miners, but it all depends on how many diamonds we got. Well, we got 26 from them, and in total we have 102, so it should be good enough. So let me get some black concrete, and then we start improving our system. Believe it or not, this is the fastest method of getting flint, by using a mesh. We are going to have a total of 3 ore miners and 1 resource miner, and the blocks that we need for both of them seem to be the same. Making gold nuggets is a pain. I'm just saying. We also need to find a more suitable location for our ore miners, and I think this area is not that bad. We just need to clean it up. It is going to be 4 chunks and we need to dig down to bedrock. I was going to say that let us hope there's no lava, but yeah, we're not that lucky. It's fine, we can use some obsidian. First one is done, 3 more to go. I have dismantled our ore miners from over there, and I have brought everything over here. That one is the resource miner. And if I have not done any miscalculations or lost anything, we should just be able to reassemble them over here. Actually, for the resource miner, we're going to take the lens and we're going to convert it into a white one. That is more useful for getting mica. Oh, and by the way, just in case you didn't know, mica is used in making speed modifiers for the ore miners. But the tier 1 ore miner does not accept any modifiers, so if we want to get modifiers, we need crystals to make the second tier. We also need to chunk load this area, but I don't remember how the weirding gadget works. And every time that I cross this area, I donate some blood. It's a charitable thing to do. I don't really know, maybe it's just 1 chunk. We also don't have that much gold left, and I noticed that we have a gold vein under here. Maybe we should harvest it. Oh, and by the way, the reason that we need gold is because of the weirding gadget. It's quite expensive. This is a dungeon under my base. It's a terrible place to have a gold vein. It's next to a lava pool. It was not a crazy amount of gold, but I think it's fine. What are you? Oh, copper. I'll take it. Oh, we already got 1 mica. Nice. I still don't know if it's really 1 chunk or a 3x3 chunk. We're going to have 4 of them. It was quite expensive, but later on we can use it for something else. And over here we have a decent amount of goodies. We have 7 erodium. I think we need hundreds. Personally, I think instead of getting the crystal lens, which will help us a lot in getting more crystals, it's better to upgrade the ore miner, because we will get speed upgrades. And the recipe for a speed modifier is... ooh. Oh, you get it from Void Ore Miner Tier 2. Okay, it's not that bad. Just before we proceed with the rest of the episode, there is something that I want to try. Some of you guys have been telling me that if I hold shift and right click, I can pick up the spawner, right? The problem is, walking like this in the nether is not very safe. So I was hoping we can do this. Yes. And we should be able to break it? Yes. The thing is, if you pick up the spawner, you cannot take it through the portal. I think with this, we should be able to put it in the overworld. Do you work across dimensions? No. Now that I'm thinking, I should have made more cardboard boxes, but it's okay. 1 will do. We don't need that many blaze rods. Of course, as usual, now that we have done this, I forgot why we needed blaze rods. There is no need to panic, I just remembered. We want to start doing some of the advancements for this episode, so we need to make the ultimate prospector. And this is why I needed blaze rods. Oh, we can also make a spawner seeker from cyclic so that we would be able to find spawners for the moon. Nice. Cause in Project Ozone we had the creative compass and finding the dungeons were not that difficult. I thought in this pack it's going to be a pain. Alright guys, what is the plan for today? Well, I'll be very honest with you, we're not going to do any advancements regarding this age. Because in order to complete them we're going to need a lot of resources, we're going to need a lot of RF, and these guys are not the fastest thing in the world. It is going to take, I don't know, 8-12 hours in order for them to give me enough crystals to upgrade them, so until that time, we need to work on our infrastructure. I think one of the main goals of this pack is to defeat the final boss, so we need to get beefy and we need to get geared up. So what we're going to do this episode is that we're going to fix our Astral Sorcery area, we're going to get into enchantment in Astral Sorcery, and we're also going to get cyclic hearts. Because that will give us like 10 extra hearts and it's not that bad. Also having more hearts means that we are going to have more blood and we can donate more blood and we can upgrade our altar far easier. But this is not as easy as you would think. We're going to need salmon and lily pads, and we can get them from a fisherman's trainer. I was wrong last episode, we need sugarcane. And thankfully we have plenty. Oh, we already had a strainer. Okay, that's fine then. And these strainers are going to require a bait, which thankfully I did make this. So we should be able to get worms from dirt. We have 1 stack and 6, and I think that's enough. The question is, where is the strainer? Oh, here. We give you the bait, and hopefully you will give me salmon. I was checking what else we need. We're going to need some cooked rabbit, and we're also going to need cocoa beans, which we don't have. What that basically means is that we have to go on a very small adventure to find some rabbits and some cocoa beans. You should be able to find rabbits in the desert, right? Yes, you can. Also, during this adventure, I'm going to take any ore that I think it's going to be useful for us. For instance, this is osmium. And osmium is very useful. Are you a baby? Yes. This is emerald. Nice. Oh, I have already mined it. It's fine. This is coal, and I am always short on coal. 2 episodes ago we had 6,000 pieces of iron, and right now we only have 2,000 left, so if I see iron and limonite, we're gonna take it. I hate actually additions. I do hate actually additions, but I did manage to find one more vein of limonite, and it's massive. Yeah, look. The main issue that I have is that how do we find a jungle? Maybe we should just go south. Yeah, we do have a nature's compass. Maybe it has been updated. Nope, it only works for abyssal craft. We have found a savanna. That's new. I think we have reached the South Pole, so there could not be any jungles here. You know, I just noticed something very stupid. We can buy a jungle sapling from the market. Aha, it's okay. I will gather more resources, gather some ores, and I will see you back at the base. If we get cocoa beans, we need to grind it down to a cocoa powder. So we are going to need a grinder, which has a very expensive recipe. I'm very confused. And according to the wiki, this grinder works with redstone, which is very weird. It's okay. We should buy our saplings. Oh, did I misplace it again? Sorry. This is a jungle sapling. That is a jungle sapling. Why do they look different? Oh, it was this grinder. Ah, they should have specified. Okay, for pumpkin pie, we need to make raw eggs. How do you make raw eggs? Do I just throw it? That's a chicken. That's a raw egg. This was relatively easy. We have 1 lily pad, 5 salmon. We have 2 lily pads and 5 salmon. Oh, and we have 11 lily pads over here. So we're good. I also never throw away the poisonous potatoes, and if I'm not wrong, they should be here. That's 1. Oh, and we have 11 over there, so we're fine. Rabbit stew is slightly complicated, but I think we have everything we need. It should be done in a cauldron. And you are a cauldron. Okay, we got 5. We need 5 more. The only thing that I don't think we have in sufficient quantities is going to be emeralds. I put everything we had inside this press, and we got 13. Oh, I'm not very good at math. We only need 10. And for the first time in the game, we're going to start making some chocolate. I need milk. Do you have milk? Yes. So chocolate from Better with Mods does not give you any nutrients, which is perfectly fine by me because all I need is cookies, 10 golden apples, and we should be able to craft 10 hearts. I think the next color was blue. We will see soon enough. Yes, it is blue. Okay, now that we have extra hearts, it's time to work on our Astral Sorcery area. And I think first we should make a structure for this. What are you? Oh, cinnabar. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, we need to start making a structure for that, and I was hoping to gather some material from the Betweenlands. I am rotten. How do I look? Beautiful. I know I said we're not going to cheat in the Betweenlands and we're going to do the progression with the gear that is available in the Betweenlands, but the thing is, I'm actually here to get some decorative blocks. And for that, we're going to go cheaty and use our tinker tools. And I just fell into my own hole. Although it seems that the pack developers don't really care if we cheat in this mod pack, because our food is not rotten yet. Alright guys, it's been a while later and I did try to make a structure for our altar over here. I don't like the color white, so I tried to cover it as best as I can. Of course, it's going to require a lot more details, a lot more modifications, and I have to remove these pillars. At first I thought they're going to look cool and I'm going to put illumination powder on top so that they will illuminate the area, but they're doing a really garbage job. And to be honest with you, from a distance it doesn't look really good because it has too many spikes and it looks like the Iron Throne. But in any case, our altar is no longer a floating platform. Now it's something which is not a floating platform. And I think our first order of business is to try and make a containment chalice so that we can make resonating gems easier, which obviously means that we're going to need a lot of starlight. So I think we're going to set it up over here because over here I can check on it all the time. And I did make an ultimate fluid tank from Mechanism. There is an automated user from Cyclic, but unfortunately it is going to require RF, so I have to do this manually. The reason that I want to try and make the containment chalice is because that whenever we're trying to make a resonating gem over here, there is a chance that one of these source blocks are going to be consumed. And if we have the chalice, it will fill it in automatically. This is going to be the recipe, and these are not iron, these are platinum. It needs 4 aquamarine, so if I place them down right now, it should work. It's been doing this for the past 5 minutes, so I'm guessing that's not how it works. And I think we have to place them one by one. You know, I just realized why it's not working. I need 1 more of these, so that I can put 1 more aquamarine. It's not 4, it's 5. Yes, we have it. So now instead of filling everything manually, all I have to do is to fill in the chalice. I had to come to a hollow hill because we need some iron ore in order to make star metal. Oops, I pain mined by accident. We have 51 pieces of iron ore, and I think for the moment that should be more than enough. With the crystal that we have, this is relatively fast. If I put you in a crusher, can I smelt you back? Yes, because this is basically our ore dabbling for star metal. Here is our refraction table. Very good. The only problem that I have with this guy is that I have no idea how it works. Very helpful. Is it nighttime? What's wrong? I'm really confused. Are you immune to sunlight? Okay, if I remember correctly, we are going to need an infused glass, which requires a lens. I did check, and this seems to be the cheapest lens that we can make, which is the lens of damage. And since the glass does not really care which kind of lens we use, we're going to use the cheapest one. Or at least I hope it doesn't care. We put you on top. Then what do you do? Okay, I tried paper, I tried book, and then I tried parchment. With parchment, it seems to work. And I think it has to be nighttime. Oh, so you will get the constellations and you just have to drag and drop them here? And the parchment is gone. That was expensive. I think our next priority is to try and make an industrial drawing rack, because this is not working very well. So let us try this one more time and see if it works. No. Oh, it did work. I got an engraved glass. Fine. Oh, and then if you put a book inside, you will get an enchanted book. I used a V-test, so I'm hoping for mending. Oh, it's mending 3. Nice. How do you take it out? Oh, this has a durability. We should be able to put unbreaking on it, but I don't have any unbreaking books. If you take a look at my armor, you might understand why did I start with mending. This says mending 3, but when you want to put it on the boots, it's just mending. But this is great, I can finally repair my armor. It was the first time that I tried the enchantment from Astral Sorcery, and I had a hunch that Avitus is going to give us mending, and luckily I was correct. But later on I did read the Astral Tome, and it seems that different constellations are going to give us different enchantments. For instance, Armara is going to give us protection, and Dissidia is going to give us sharpness. And this is the profit from our ore miners. We do not need the enchantments right now, but we are going to need them later on when we want to get deeper into Abyssal Craft and get the samurai armor. And if you're wondering what I'm trying to do over here, I'm trying to make an industrial drying rack. The structure is formed, but I have 2 extra vents. Don't know why. Well, it is an industrial drying unit Mark II, so I'm okay with that. The drying rack is only going to consume 20 RF per tick, which is nothing. So we are going to use the thermoelectric generators that we have down here, which we are using for the mixer. And I think that should be more than enough. I made a lot of pulp so that I can make paper, and if we put it over here, you should give me paper, right? Yes, it gives you 4. And it does make sense to have them next to each other, because whenever we want pulp, we need the mixer, and whenever we want to convert it into paper, we need the drying rack. I also just noticed that we have access to ender storage. That means we have access to ender tanks and ender chests. So we should be able to do some improvements. Of course, they're not going to be a huge quality of life improvement, but they're not going to be that bad. Anyway, I also made some upgrade kits, and we should be able to upgrade the turbine. So now instead of 6200, we can generate 7600. Ender tanks are expensive, and we need 4. So we are going to steal this spawner as well, and I'm just going to farm some blaze. I do have a very small idea how to make a mob farm in order to get essence for the industrial foregoing, but for the moment I don't think we're going to need it this episode, so we're going to focus on more important stuff. But eventually we are going to need a lot of essence in order to spawn mobs, so I'm thinking maybe next episode we're going to set up a mob farm. Oh, it gives you the gold upgrade back. I don't need that. We're going to use one of the ender tanks, which is going to be black, for the oil, and we're going to hook it up here, and the other one over here, so that we will always have oil. And I think we should use another one for plastic, and for the moment we just put it up there. Also, we might as well try to modify our PneumaticCraft setup, so let me get some upgrades and then I'll be right back. We don't need the UV light for anything, right? I can just take it. I have made 2 flux capacitors and we have a leak. I have no idea where's the leak. Anyhow, I was going to say that I made 2 flux compressors and instead of burning coal, we're gonna burn RF. We are going to put the redstone behavior on high signal so that whenever they receive a redstone signal, they will be active. And I think what we're going to do is that we're going to have a redstone torch over here. And I have no idea how, but we need to invert that signal. We're going to have our pressure gauge over here and we are going to have a comparator so that we can read the signal. So whenever this guy is emitting a redstone signal, these guys will be turned off. And I think we can just put our safety gauge over here. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if we need a safety gauge if we're using upgraded pipes and we're using security upgrades, but we're gonna do that anyway just in case so that nothing explodes. According to the formula, we want the gauge to emit a redstone signal of 8 so that the pressure will always stay at 4. In this modpack we do not have access to a potentiometer, so we're going to put this comparator on subtract mode, and if we want it to emit a redstone signal whenever it reaches 8, we need to go 7 blocks this way. That's 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we just put a redstone block. I'm hoping that should work. So if we give you a lot of speed upgrades, will you actually work? Yeah, it's not. Turn it off. I think I made a miscalculation with the redstone. Okay, that was a redstone miscalculation and I had to move it a few blocks further. Now it's standing at 4.9 bars, which is okay for us. I did try to make it less boring and I think I did a fairly good job. Anyway, we also need to find a place for the plastic maker. You guys have been telling me that the plastic maker does not require any pressure or heat, and you are absolutely right. So I think what we're going to do is that we're going to hide everything. We put the ender tank on top of another tank so that we have a buffer, and then we use some ultimate mechanical pipes. And you can just go on top, I guess. Everything that we have from PneumaticCraft seems to be working perfectly. This is the input chest for the pressure chamber, this is the output chest, and we also have an input chest for the assembly line, and an output chest. I was also checking the modular machineries and then I found something very interesting. It's called Aromatic 5000 Mark III. And what does it do? It quintuples ores. At first I was incredibly excited and I thought maybe we should work towards this and try to get the material we need in order to make it. But then I saw the recipes. It's actually not that good because you need oxygen, lubricant, gasoline, hydrogen chloride, and sulfuric acid. So basically you have to set up the ore quintupling system from Mechanism and then just fit this guy. And I'm like, okay, if I set it up, then why do I need you? There's also a Mark I version, which is something that we can afford, but unfortunately, in addition to oxygen, it's also going to need lubricant. So again, I'm not exactly sure if this is something worth our time, because if we want to do ore tripling with Mechanism, we just need oxygen, not lubricant. And oxygen is free. Lubricant is not. I said all of that because I want to make 2 extra machines. One of them is called the industrial mill, which is basically this guy, and the other one is the hydraulic press, which I think is a compressor from PneumaticCraft on steroids. So I think I'm going to need a lot of modularium. We have to wait for this one to smelt because I made a boo-boo. Also in the meantime, I did manage to make 2 more upgrade kits, and we can generate more RF, 8300. I was thinking maybe we set it up over here. I think it was 10 episodes ago when I made a machine circuitry by mistake. And now we just only need 1 for the mill. Okay, as usual we have an input chest, an output chest, and I did put a quantum entangloporter in the back. We have automated a considerable amount of garbage in this mod pack, except the item that I like using the most. Olive planks. I mean the logs. Not the planks. And it is the easiest one to automate, we just need a bonsai pot. Since this is right next to our base, I think it's a wise decision to try and hide it as best as possible. Well, I did make a structure for it and our machine is inside. It's actually very useful because I use the mill constantly, and having a machine which works faster and has a bigger capacity, for me it's really good. I also noticed that we don't have a sawmill, so I had to sneak one back here. It's actually not something incredibly complicated, you just put the wood in, and it will give you the planks. I was also thinking what to do with the hydraulic press, but then I realized we need to start making an area for PneumaticCraft very soon, maybe next episode, because we need to start exploration. I have no idea where to build it, but the hydraulic press should also go next to PneumaticCraft, I guess. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye. I just finished editing the video and I noticed we have a little bit more time, and I decided to move the kilns from here to here. I cannot make bricks in a furnace. I have to use the kiln, and this is why we need to have a setup for it. The only problem is that it's a pain to automate it. I mean, it's not very difficult to automate, it's just very difficult to hide all the cabling and hoppers. But I think I did manage to hide everything. We do have a crate over here, which is the input chest, and puts everything inside the kilns. The hoppers, the hot ones, will export everything inside this crate, and then we can just take it out. And we can put a crate over here. Good. Everything comes here. He was so silenced. Okay, function-wise, it does work. I just have to make it look nice. Bye-bye. I know I have said bye-bye twice, but I just wanted to tell you that I have kind of finished it. Or at least I think I have finished it. But in any case, I was going through your guys' comments on the previous episode, and it seems I can make the digital miner. The recipe itself is unlocked, but if we know the recipe, we should be able to make it. I just went to the wiki, and this seems to be the recipe. And yes, we can make it. And it does work. Very good. Also, another concern based on your guys' comments was that my scanner does not have any range add-ons. It does, it has 2 range add-ons, but it doesn't really work for diamonds. Another very important point that one of you guys mentioned in the comments is that if I use the crusher, it's not ore doubling. So if we want to do ore tripling or quadrupling or quintupling, we have to make the aromatic. I'm not exactly sure if we should do this or not because lubricant is not a renewable resource. And I don't know what to do. Anyway guys, for the 3rd time today, bye bye.